Everybody, it's Monday and I'm very excited to have you here. Today, this is the beginning of our Make an Impact Mondays. What does that mean for you as a business owner? It means that every Monday at noon Eastern, I will be here in the group and I will be offering you some not only tips, but actionable items that you can put forth towards changing your biz immediately after listening to one of these trainings. Now, today's topic, and I'm just going to go here and connect to Facebook so I can see any questions. So if you're here live, say hello. Let me know where you're coming in from. If you're in the States, you are celebrating Thanksgiving this weekend. So let me know maybe what is a Thanksgiving tradition that you have. And anyone who's in Canada, you need to let me know if you have any snow. If you're watching the replay, do hashtag replay. All right, let's get this started. Today's topic, 3 ways to become irresistible to your customer. And that's what we want. So we're going to talk about, sometimes it's not about the product, right? It's about the way we talk about our product or our program. The second thing I want you to do is really focus in and hone on what it is that you solve for your client. And the third thing is a way to clarify your message. And then I'm going to give you little action steps to either think about or to do so that you can make your business better. Every day we go out, we change lives, we find clients, we work with them, we solve their problems, we become the go-to person for them, we make an impact. And that's what these lives are all about. So if you're ready to dive in, say hello. If you're watching the replay, again, hashtag replay. Let's get started. The first thing I want to talk about is, what does irresistible mean? All right. And what it means is a number of things. So when you think about being irresistible, good morning, Lisa. When you think about being irresistible to your client, what does that mean for you? Being irresistible is a beautiful thing, right? Whether it's to our mate, whether it's to our client, whether it's to, well, that's about it. I was going to say boss, but we're really not 9-to-5ers. We're here for different reasons. So what does irresistible mean? Does it mean that you are becoming someone's go-to? You're becoming the person who solves all their problems. Are you irresistible in the sense that you are creating raving fans and having lifetime buyers? So that, I think irresistible encompasses all of that. And that's a beautiful thing to be to your client. Irresistible. Now, there's all types of things that we can talk about in order to take our very new client through our funnel system in order to keep them as a lifetime client, right? Once someone keeps buying or buys from you and you provide them with a solution, then what happens is they just keep coming back, right? Because if you can help them solve one problem, once that happens, then there becomes a new set of problems. And if you can keep solving them for that particular client or person, they are going to keep coming back to you for repeat service, right? Okay. Yes, you have the answers to their problems. So a lot of times it's not our product and it's not our program that's the problem. And a lot of us immediately think, if this isn't selling, it has to be the product or the program. And that's not true. A lot of the times what it is, it's how we speak about our product or our program that causes the disdain or the disconnection between people actually buying and going through our programs, right? So you have to think about it. The hero of your program or your brand is not your brand. It's your customer, right? And when you think about that, right? Like, think about Apple as an example. When Apple comes out with the tiny little mini iPods, right? The shuffles or whatever they were called. And yes, there's lots of technology and memory and 2,000 or 3,000 songs in your pocket, but it was really about you. It was really about, what can this product do for you? And a lot of us, what happens is we talk about the product itself as opposed to the solution. So as we go through this training today, I want you to start to think about your messaging. I want you to start to think about what you are saying about your products or your programs, and then maybe why, and come to the realization that maybe there's a disconnect there and we have to change what we say. So we want, what our people initially or always want is to survive and thrive, right? You think back to a caveman's day, and it's innate all the way through. We need to survive or thrive. Eat, drink, find a mate, be in love, find a tribe, right? And experience a sense of purpose or passion. That's what we all innately want, right? Now, it might be great that your program offers tech help, or it might be great that, your leggings are versatile, but it's not resonating back to the survive and thrive, right? So I want you to start to think about how you speak about your particular program. Focus in kind of on the offer and what the actual outcome is for your person as opposed to your brand or your product, okay? Some questions I want you to think about are coming up. Sorry, the next one. So what I want you to do is start to think about maybe the main thing that you help people with. And I know sometimes we have to kind of get out of our own head because we think I offer boot camps, I offer leggings, I offer ManyChat help, I offer Norwex, I offer essential oils, whatever it may be. But I want you to go back to the root of the innate problem that your person is having, surviving and thriving, and how your products can solve that. And they really can. They really can. So don't think, well, I'm not saving lives here. I don't have a root innate psychological problem that I can solve with people. Not true. Not true. Your MLM business has made these products because they know they solve problems for people, right? They wouldn't be a business selling these leggings or oils or shakes or whatever it may be if people weren't buying them to relinquish that particular problem within them. Okay, so you have to now start to think a little bit differently about how you're speaking and or presenting your product. The second thing I want you to do is really get to the point of what it is that you offer or solve for your client. Now, a lot of times we will, talk about the fluff. So, the statistics or how you're the biggest company in this and you're worldwide known for that and all of these things, but really people just want to know, what can you solve for me, right? What can you solve for me? So when you're getting in and you're talking about your particular business, and whether you're doing a live or whether you're doing a post or whether you're doing a webinar, I really want you just to get to the point, immediately get to the point of what we can solve. So for today's particular live that I'm doing here with you, I told you it's how the 3 ways you can become irresistible to your customer right off the hop. And now what happens is that is a need or a tactic that you need to have in your business and in your repertoire in order for you to ultimately make sales. So you think about boot camps and what I offer. Yes, I talk about boot camps all the time, but it's an easy, repeatable, reusable system that gets more of your ideal client in the door and gets you from cold to sold in 5 days. What does that ultimately solve for you as my client? More sales. Because you have a very distinct goal that you bring people towards in your boot camp. That's why they're so amazing. So what happens is that survive and thrive need is there when you learn to become more irresistible. It's all tied in. So I want you to start to think about your messaging and your core maybe sales pitches and all of those things that you're talking about in your programs or about your programs to your clients. And stop to think, survive and thrive, survive and thrive. What am I saying to my people, right, in order to make me irresistible to them as a client, right? Let me check my notes here. So what's the one main thing you solve for your people? Sometimes we are thinking about, oh, I do this and I do this and I do this and I can do this and my product can do this. But what's that one main problem that you can solve for your people? I want you to really hone in on that, right? Hone in on that. And let me tell you, very truthfully, it's taken me quite some time to get to this point as well. We get so excited about our business, right? And we want to tell everybody all the little things. But really, if we can just focus on the one thing that we solve, and then you can kind of, branch out your messaging from there. Okay? Because ultimately, when we get clear in our messaging, we will build a better business, because we will be clear and focused as to what we're sharing with our people. They will be drawn into our business and into our story and into our solutions, and therefore it's a win-win for everybody. So here are 3 questions for you to think about and answer, and I'll post them in the comments or in the thread after I'm done the live. But what is it that you offer? What do you offer, right? And all of us that are in here building a business, we offer a lot to our clients, right? We have solutions to problems that can change their lives. That's incredible. What do you offer? How will it make their life better? Okay. And what do they need to know to buy your offer? Now, I can go off on a whole tangent here about boot camps, right? Just being here for your people live, letting them get to know, like, and trust you obviously makes you irresistible. When you can show up live every day for 5 days or 9 days, whatever it is, and you can tell your people what you offer, you can tell your people how it will make their life better, and at the end of the boot camp, you can tell them exactly how to get that in their life. Boom! Magic! Right? Right? Hello, ladies. Hello, Ruheen. All right, so those are 3 questions I want you to start to think about this, because the more focused about your messaging you are, and obviously the sales are going to follow, right? The better your sales are going to be. All right, so let's talk about clarifying your message, the third thing. Because you've heard the saying, confuse and you'll lose, right? So, for example, because we're all about the boot camps here, if people don't know what your boot camp is or is about, or what problem you can alleviate for them at the end of your boot camp, 9 times out of 10, they're not going to show up, right? So we have to make sure, because words are powerful, that we're choosing the right words and we're clarifying our message, all right? And we want to keep it simple. We talked about this in the boot camp. Your 5 days leading up to your boot camp, or what you're teaching, in your boot camp, have to be very simple. Small, simple, snackable, tangible things that your people can do in order to have a win during your boot camp, right? So let's think about keeping things simple, even in our messaging, even what we're putting out there, right? Going back to the root cause of them surviving and thriving, right? It's beautiful too, because Donald Miller wrote a book about telling stories, and that was one of the books I read this year. And he talked about the power of telling stories. And he goes through actually 7 frameworks for you to follow in order to build and branch out your story properly. Because we've heard in our niche and in our online realm that not only if you confuse, you'll lose, but stories sell. Stories into my bootcamp, and I want you to start to think about the stories that you can tell. Not only your story, but other success stories as well. What can you incorporate into your messaging that shows people that you're the expert, that you give results, that people love working with you, right? That kind of thing. I want you to think about these 3 particular questions for clarifying your message, right? What does your customer want? We talked about this earlier. What does your customer want? They want to eat, drink, find a mate, find love, be successful, right? Survive and thrive, that core need to survive and thrive. So think about, what does your customer want, right? And what is the opposition getting in their way of what it is that your customer wants to have? What is that opposition? And sometimes it's what? Sometimes it's the actual customer, right? It's the actual customer getting in the way. Maybe it's just not knowing the next steps. Maybe it's they're so confused and so overwhelmed of where to begin, they're stuck in that fear, right? So I want you to think, what does your customer want? And if you don't know what your customer wants, there are many ways for you to find out, right? We are here live in a Facebook group, and all of you had to answer questions before coming in. And so, what happens is those questions I'm asking you to come into this group are telling me exactly in your own words what you want. So, I want you to think about how you are getting people to tell you what they want instead of us as the business owner thinking, yes, I know exactly what they want. Sometimes we don't. Sometimes we have a general idea of what people want, but sometimes maybe just asking that question to our ideal clients or customers, what it is that you want, and then going forward and changing that. That's a powerful, powerful question. I could do a whole live on asking that particular question. And then I want you to start to clarify and focus in on the message that what will your customers look like? What will your customers' life look like if they get or if they don't get what they want? And you can apply this to any niche, you can apply this to any program, you can apply this to any product. These three questions: what does your customer want? What is the opposition standing in their way? And what is going to happen in their life if they do not get or they do get what they want, right? Paint that picture. When they get your program, this is what their business and life could look like with your help. But if they wait and they're stalled and they don't join right away, and another 6 weeks, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months goes by, and they're still in the same place, right? Nobody wants to be in the same place in their business a year from now. Nobody, right? We all join the online realm to be our own boss. We're the out-of-box thinkers. We want to be moving forward constantly. And in order to do that, we have to become irresistible to our client. And how do we do that? The way we talk about our products, being really focused in the problem that we need to solve for them, and to clarify our message, right? So when we do this clearly, we actually end up solving all of, maybe most of their problems or their challenges in their business. And it's a beautiful thing as you're beginning out your business, because you may not know what they all need, but if you put them into an introductory offer, you have people go through your training, get that first win under their belt, and then you pose the question, what do you want now? You probably knew what they wanted on the onset, because that's probably what your boot camp was about. Now that you have them in your first month, 6 month, 3 month training, now what do they want? Because once you solve a problem for your customer, there will be a new set of problems that arise afterwards. So how can you continue to serve that raving fan, that lifelong customer, and keep them as a repeatable buyer in your business, right? You want to have a sales funnel that takes them through that, right? Because unless we identify something that our customer wants, they really won't feel invited into our story, into our space, into our realm, right? So we want to show them, yes, I see that this is a problem, right? They identify that they have that problem, and now we're going to solve it. So think about the action steps that I want you to take today. I want you to think about your messaging in the past. Go through a couple of lives that you've done. Look at the last couple of posts that you've put up on your social media. And is it all about the brand, or is it all about your customer and their innate need, right? So we can take a look at that. And if you might be thinking, oh, yeah, it's been all about my brand, then we have to then we have to shift. And we can start doing that today. We don't have to wait. The very next time you put up a post or you do a live, you can start to think about this. There are a number of questions that I posed to you today that I want you to think about as well, right? What do you offer? What's that core main topic offer that you solve for your person? And it's not, try not to put clarity. I offer clarity, or I offer guidance, or superficial words like that. Get to the point. Get to the nub of that problem and what it is that you offer. Tell them how it will make their life better, right? How can your product make their life better? Because it's all about them. It's not about me. It's not about boot camps. It's all about you, the online entrepreneur who wants to make more sales in their business. So how can I make your life better by doing so? And then how do they buy it? Right? And sometimes that's our pitch and our sales, which is another live that we could do here on Make an Impact Monday, right? So that's what we can think about. So I want you to think about these core messages that we've been talking about today, how we can become irresistible to our people, how we can start being more irresistible the minute we get off this live or replay, right? I want you to think about these things. I'll pose these questions, I'll post them, in this particular live. And I want you to take get in there, get in the comments. Think about how you can change your messaging. Have you been talking all about your brand? Is this like I wish I had a V8 moment for you, right? Right? Yeah, think about what you're reposting. And it's happened to all of us. You go back and you think about what it is that you're offering and what it is that you're doing and how can you streamline that? How can we make it better? So think about these particular questions, answer them in the comments, and go out and make more of an impact starting today with your messaging. Now, I want you to think about joining me here every Monday at noon. So are you catching me on your lunch break, right? You got your AirPods in and you're snacking at your desk thinking, I gotta get out of here. Right? Are you on a walk? Wherever it may be, whether you're catching it live or you're catching it on the replay, let me know how this maybe has changed the way you're going to think about your business. Or maybe you have to go back and change the last social media post that you did and tweak them a little bit. I'd love to hear. So you can join me here every Monday at noon Eastern live and ask me questions. Let me know what it is that you're changing. Post something in there so I can give you some immediate feedback. Now, the easiest way to get notified when I'm going live is to click on the link that I will post in the comments as well as in this post today. Get notified. Don't miss a thing. You never know what I'm going to be doing or talking about or maybe giving away on a Monday, right? We're getting into the Christmas season. Maybe I could do that in December. I don't know. We'll have to see. But get notified by clicking the link because life gets busy. And if you don't want to miss it, I don't want to miss any trainings that I sign up for as well, it's a quick little notification to your messenger, and then I can see your beautiful face here live every Monday. So thank you to all the ladies who are on here live and joining me today. Think about how you can become more irresistible to your customer, make your business, make your millions, and then go out and make your impact. Have a great day.